clarinetist James Tobin in Charlottesville, Virginia. And today I want to talk about a concept that's incredibly important for all wind players, especially clarinet players. And that concept is support. And I remember frequently when I was young hearing directors and clinicians tell me that I needed to support the sound, but I never really got an exact definition of what that was. So I'm going to tell you exactly why we need to do it, what you're going to get out of it, and how exactly the support is created with two different paths depending on which one is going to appeal to you. So first, support is pressurizing the airstream at its source. That's what support is. Now, we need to do it because certain dynamic categories already come with support. On any instrument, wind instrument, if you are going to play mezzo forte, forte, or fortissimo, to deliver the wind that fast, your core muscles and your intercostal muscles have to squeeze. It's automatic. Just try it at home. When we get into softer dynamic categories like mezzo piano, piano, and pianissimo, that wind speed is still fast, but we don't have to engage our core muscles to blow at that speed. And so the sound becomes unsupported. And there are many sacrifices when this occurs. So when I hear young musicians playing and they don't have support engaged, frequently what happens is they have a much better sound when they play loud than when they play soft. When they play soft, the sound becomes less vibrant, harder to control, and especially articulating quickly. Additionally, playing in the third register and the highest notes of the instrument all become challenges when the support is not properly engaged. Legato also becomes a big problem, and so we're going to need to create a new habit and fundamental of engaging our support after we breathe. So we're going to breathe in, we'll support, and then you're going to play. So there are two ways to create support. The first is kind of an outside-in support. It's an easy concept to understand, and you are simply going to focus on engaging your core muscles when you play mezzo piano, piano, or pianissimo. And immediately what you get is a sound that is, it's the forte sound that I played earlier, except for it's been shrunk down to a tiny dynamic. And it's easy to play. There's no effort here. In both supports, there's no effort. The effort is actually in learning to establish the fundamental. So again, that's an outside-in support, squeezing in with your core muscles as you play softer. The second support is the one that I prefer to employ, primarily because I'm going to create the support and I'm going to maintain it at every dynamic category. For me, it improves everything. It makes the pianissimo excellent. It makes the fortissimo more effortless. And this is a little harder to explain, so stick with me here, okay? So in this support, I'm going to create an inside-out support. So I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to push the air down in my body. It's kind of like you're trying to fill your belt line. And I mean, you can hear right now, I've got it established, and you can hear the pressurization in my voice. So one of the easiest ways to kind of imagine creating this is to say, imagine that you have to wear a pair of dress pants. They are 2 sizes too big. You do not get a belt, and you have to walk in public. And if you give me that challenge, I will absolutely make sure I'm as fat as possible. And that's a little bit of what we're doing here. So, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to focus that air down in my body. That's support. Support is pressurizing the airstream at its source so that you have greater dynamic control. 2 ways to do it: outside in, squeezing in with the core muscles as you play softer. Second way, inside out, creating the pressure down in your middle and establishing that and leaving it. So you have 2 pathways forward with those 2 techniques. If you have questions, please feel free to email me at tobinclarinet@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you all are well and enjoying a great weekend.